Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Burning Truth. I am here, sober, to many people's surprises.
No kidding.
Including ours.
Yeah, including those. I've actually spent the full day with only H2O and fine quality sugar to go on.
Some fine quality H2O.
And a lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar. Anyway, the person who's just been speaking is the man, the myth, the legend, Nathan Goff.
And the man who was across from me was the innovator of long-haired monstrosities. He is the man who could destroy the MCU without having to think. Some say his hair grows so long that it reaches his ass. Others say that if he fell down the stairs, it'd go bum, 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 bum. But all we know is
he's parts unknown's village idiot, Matt Burns.
Oh.
and
Again, we have a third person in the room.
it is the bundering thunder sugar bottom, or the thunder cunt of cunts.
The man who, when looking at the DCU or MCU, hasn't got a clue on what reality is.
So relative.
But all we know is we call him
The thunder bastard.
Johnny Blaze.
Sounds like a fair deal.
Even give you the little.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. You
That
know,
was cool.
at least I'm paying my introductions.
Oh, come on. I've been working since the last time I was here trying to think of that.
Working.
Took me all of 5 seconds to come up
Working.
with it. Do me a favour.
Listen, the only working I've seen you do is probably work out your wrist, but I'll say no more on that.
Do I have to borrow a JR line to counter that? Mister,
Yeah.
the only exercise you get is stretching the truth and jumping to conclusions.
Don't need to.
Um,
you can see the growth muscles.
In fact, I think that's a
Whoa,
bikini
you
line.
bunch of thundering mother cunts. Right, we're here to discuss wrestling, not one-ups. Because
good.
if we want to
One up,
discuss
sexual
one-up...
lives.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding us, because we were going to get way off topic very quickly there.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, we do need to get
if you want
back
this
on.
argument ending, there's only one winner. And that's me. So both of you, shut the fuck up.
You're the winner.
Just agree with him and move on. It saves time and effort.
You coward!
So, we're here. Busy day. We've actually spent a whole day socialising, discussing what's wrong with wrestling.
Yeah.
That we have.
Which is an interesting topic to start on this week.
Not
Some
an easy
say
one.
that the greatest match that ever made happened in Japan. Others say
Oh.
the business died that day. All we know is, somewhere in the world,
In New Japan.
Vince McMahon Sr. might be turning in his grave.
Maybe, but depending on who you ask. It depends on who you ask. Some say it's the worst thing to ever come out of wrestling, and others say, oh, it's the best thing ever.
Would the people who say it's the best thing ever possibly also be fans of other things which they think are great, which we don't? Okay, I'm going to stop being about the bush here. I'm referring to TNA.
No.
No,
So,
it's mixed reviews from different people, from different backgrounds. Some are a part of the old guard of wrestling, some are part of the new guard. It's a mixed variety.
I have an opinion which I voiced earlier. The people that are a fan of this style of wrestling are ones that have either burnt the bridges with WWE or are never going to make it to WWE. Apart from William Regal and maybe Albert. But when you look at that match, it was a highly choreographed scene that could belong in Arrow instead of a WWE or a Japanese ring. When I think of Japan, I think of strong style Kenta Nakamura, not Cirque du Soleil in a ring with a referee.
Matches that make you think, oh my god, he needs to count his teeth afterwards, and not, well, that was a spectacular
It's some brilliant
choreographed
matches.
performance.
If you look at AJ Styles versus
Nakamura.
or Okada,
Okay, there. That's definitely a good call, that is.
Well, if you look at some of the matches that they've had, and to call that one match the greatest ever wrestling match,
Is possibly
Right.
over-egging the pudding somewhat.
no, to everyone in the world has got their entitlement to what the greatest wrestling match in the world is. My personal opinion is Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
That says personally.
That's your call, and that's fair
The,
enough.
the difference is, to be fair on this match, I think some of the stuff that they do pull off is quite
Oh,
it's quite phenomenal. However, I'm not saying it's the best match in the world ever. Period. Blah blah blah. Oh wow wow wow.
it takes
The difference
professional
is,
and athleticism to pull off what they've done.
yes,
Absolutely.
and here's the thing: we've got to look at it. A lot of people are sort of saying, "Oh, it's the greatest thing ever," and others are saying it's not.
Got to
Now-
look at it rationally. It's provoking debate, which is what good wrestling is designed
Which
to
it
do.
is, and here's the thing with wrestling. Wrestling each time comes around where a match will actually have fans and wrestlers actually question what wrestling is,
Yeah,
and this could be interpreted as one of them
it's
matches,
one of those matches.
possibly. The difference is it's a different way of involving it, because if you look at the wrestling from the 50s, is it the same wrestling from the 70s?
Yeah.
No. Is it the same wrestling from the 90s?
No.
Is it the same wrestling from now?
What story did they try and tell?
I'm not saying that they were trying to tell a story, but this is how a lot of different people are trying
Well,
to
this
get
is
around
the thing.
it.
The people
It's a
like...
some people are saying it's a different
Oh, it's a different
interpretation,
style.
Yeah.
but the difference is each area's got a different way of expressing it.
Yeah.
Some like fast pacing moves. Some like ones where people get hit and you're cringing every 5 seconds.
But-
There's ones where people are literally telling a program outside
Yeah.
like an Emmerdale farm or something.
Generally,
Or
though,
lastly,
Are you going to let him speak?
I will do. Or
I've forgotten what I was going to say.
Or-
to be fair.
they're telling a story in the ring with technical wrestling.
Well, I was merely going to say that I'd imagine the majority of people who like this are the ones who don't insist that wrestling must tell a story.
We can't say that really, because the rest, what we may like ourselves may not be what the masses want.
The way I view wrestling, and I view this in the way that I've got my cousins start watching wrestling. They're an age where they love John Cena and hate Roman Reigns at the moment. So,
Somehow.
Yeah, young
So,
and
yeah,
impressionable.
they're about 6 or 8. And I thought, no better way to gauge an audience on how it looks. Now, if you show it to people who know that wrestling is staged,
Predetermined.
Yeah.
Yes.
I won't use the F word because
I will start dropping bombs.
Nothing irritates
you pair more.
wrestlers more than that.
But it's a staged art form
Yes.
where you're looking out for each
Performance.
other.
Yeah,
and-
it's a performance designed to entertain the crowd.
And
basically.
I put this on for my cousins, and they went, "When does the wrestling start?"
Yeah. That's as withering a put down as you can possibly expect. And it came from 8-year-olds.
Yeah,
Yeah, that just shows you that it's going to divide opinion.
they went, "When does the wrestling start, Nathan?" And I went, well, this is a different style of wrestling, but that got me thinking on the way that we gauge wrestling. So we went to ICW. We went as wrestling fans, but we also went on that day of we are going to leave our belief once we cross through the door.
Whoa. If I'm not mistaken, we not only left our belief at the door, in fact, if I recall, you almost got us involved
Yeah.
in the show.
But
But
we were there to become part of the action. Like
Which we did.
Yeah.
we suspended our belief
Yeah, but that's what
when
I'm
we
saying,
walked
it's your-
over the door. Now the problem that
Was it
I
a
had
case-
with that match was I didn't suspend my belief. I was in awe of the athletic talent on
Yeah.
show, but I was just there
It
going.
was like
Yeah,
one
there was
minute,
no
1 minute
point
you're
where-
engaged.
It was a suspension of disbelief. You weren't actually watching this, like, thinking...
I was waiting for Will Ospreay to go, "It's morphing time." And
Oh.
Lord Zed to send some putties down at one point. with all the flips. Like, why do you want to do duo flips? I can understand if you like diving over a monkey flip or something like that.
Yeah.
But when you do them at the same time, you know what? It's brilliant. And you had a problem which I thought was quite interesting because you didn't have the same problem I had.
No, I didn't. And it's a bit of a big one for me.
But okay, well, let's go at this in turn. First of all, what's your problem with it, Nathan?
It just didn't have a story. Like, the talent on show,
Oh, no,
brilliant.
I agree with you.
The athletic
the wrestling was
ability of the people
fantastic.
involved.
It just
Yeah.
didn't tell a story. I agree with you on
Like,
that.
if you watch them individually and watch them do some other stuff, they've had wrestling matches.
Yeah.
That was like two 18-year-olds jizzing off in each other's hands going, oh, I want to do this, 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 and this. And he's going, oh, well, I want to do this, 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 and this. Oh, well, why don't we do this, this, this together? Go into that and then...
Yeah, rather than having someone
Yeah.
there to go, whoa, 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 calm it down, why don't you do this and link this together, they've just gone, yeah, let's do all of it.
You know, like...
So, what's your issue with it?
This one is a bit of a... It's hard to explain because a lot of the time, this one I think is a bit... Some could say, oh, but they're still being athletic and whatnot. But for me, one way to break a fan out of the reality of suspense,
Out of the suspension of disbelief, which
of
is crucial
disbelief,
to
which
enjoy.
is crucial for wrestling,
Yeah.
I believe. Yes, I know. I can see you looking at me, and I really do. Is when you are able to hear them what they're doing in the ring, and what I mean by this is when you hear them, it looks like at first you hear them talking, swearing at each other and everything. At first, it sounds like they're just doing that for banter, but then all of a sudden you'll just see one of them call a move, and then speaking friendly with each other in the ring, and it was like, and it's heard on the camera.
Which immediately results in
Which straight away
The large-
brings you back
shattering
out
of
of-
the pane of glass,
out of your-
metaphorically, because you're out of your suspension of
Disbelief.
disbelief. You're back in the room thinking, well, that's just ruined it for
That's
me.
just ruined it.
I completely understand where you're coming from.
Because there's 1 minute where they're telling each other to fuck off, and then the next minute, yeah, I've got you. I'll make sure you're safe. Thought these guys meant to hate each other,
I just...
which is where a lot of guys are saying this is crucial. But the problem on it is that on the recording I watched, is the one thing that made it very, very clear is if there was a commentary on it, you'd know a lot of what was being said may have gotten missed due to the commentary just being over
and the
it.
commentary talking over it may have masked it.
May have masked it. However, because there was no commentary, it basically revealed it all.
It's worth watching because then you'll gauge. But it all depends on what people want to get out of their wrestling. Like, I want my belief in it. I want
matter
to
what.
believe that
No matter
I'm
what,
being entertained.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like,
no matter what, everybody wants to be entertained. Do you all want that belief? Now, everybody does a different thing. Some people have stated that with certain moves, certain sequences that they were doing, it was going from, ooh, hang on, why the hell are they doing this? It breaks that suspense of disbelief. Like, they were hitting each other with moves where if it was hit on any given night or on a regular WWE show,
It strikes me as
it's
they
pretty
were
much 1,
using
2, 3.
7 or 8 moves that, of their own. Each would be used far more regularly to be like, right, that's it, the match is done. And yeah, they were getting up in turn to hit a similar move on the other person.
Pretty much.
Which, yeah, to quite a lot of fans is the
That's one of
suspension
my
disbelief
biggest-
killer. Yeah.
bugbear with indie wrestling, like with independent wrestling, that a finish is not a finish. It's just a segment to where you can get up 3 seconds later and be hit by another big move.
Or
hit a big
like
move.
nothing's happened to you, hit an equally big move on the person who's just done that one to you. Yeah, I completely agree with you. That's one of my bugbears on where maybe the guys in the ring have complete creative control and there's nobody to even look over what they're doing and go, do you know what? That's fantastic. It's massively athletic and you're showing off no end. You're showing yourselves proud athletically, but maybe just tone it down a notch or two. Maybe just make it make a bit more sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's talking points, and that's good because it's whether it's bad publicity or good publicity. There's no such thing as...
All publicity. There's no
There's
such thing as bad publicity,
Yeah.
as I'm
All
sure.
good publicity is what you were trying to come across.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is
Now,
not
the difference
strictly
is this
true,
one
just as
match
TNA,
has
but-
got everybody focusing in on it. So, straight away, regardless of if it's good or bad, everybody's talking about it.
Well, yeah, that in that sense, it's done its job.
Yes.
But yeah, I can see why as many people would dislike it and like it.
There's ups and downs, and here's the thing. Me, personally, I'm not exactly going to be saying it's the greatest match ever, but I'm not going to say it's the most worst match ever. Or
No.
it's,
Yeah, while it's not my cup of tea, I'm not one to either give it 5 stars or -5 stars.
So,
It has merits. It just there are areas where it goes too far.
we'll drop in a favourite 5 topic from here. Like, because it seems like a nice segue. If you had to name your top 5 matches ever from this,
Might
use,
take a while.
use whatever criteria you want, but you've got 2 minutes.
Oh, good lord!
So, we'll start off and we'll go round.
Are
And
we
you
going to
can
go in a
think
round
while we
robin,
go round.
one at a
fair
time?
enough, fair enough.
So we'll start with 1 and then it'll go me, Matt, Thunder Bastard. Me, Matt,
Yeah,
Thunder
I get you.
Cunt.
I get you.
What?
So,
Do I have a twin?
yeah. So I would have gone with, as my number 1, as I said earlier, Undertaker vs Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25.
Good call, good call. Steve Austin versus Brett. The double
13.
switch.
Or 13.
13, the double
Oh,
switch.
okay.
Which is the submission match.
Okay, I'll go for Brett versus Owen from I think it's WrestleMania 10, the opening match.
Yes, it was.
Number 2, I would take Chris Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero from ECW.
Oh, you motherfucker.
You can have the same matches.
Well, I would have to agree with you on that.
However, Eddie Guerrero versus Dean Malenko. ECW.
By the same token, from the ECW, I would say Rey Mysterio against was it
Guerrero.
was it Psychosis?
Psychosis.
I believe it was against Psychosis, but dude, I know he had a good
Yeah,
match
that's
with him as
fine.
well. Yeah, that one for my second one.
So, from there, if I was going from there, I would then move on. I'd come a little bit forward now in time, and I would look at a match that is very overlooked for it, but was actually quite a good wrestling match, and that is WrestleMania 12, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels in the Iron Man match.
Can't deny it.
Can't fault that. It's
Can't
definitely
fault
a
it
good
because the
wrestling
fact
match.
there's not many wrestlers can. It showed how much
It's not very
dedication and fortitude that they had
Yeah.
to wrestle for a clean hour.
and keep everyone on the edge of their seat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Without a pinfall.
without a pinfall.
Yeah.
Where everybody else who's been doing it, pinfall,
You know,
pinfall,
Iron
submission,
Man matches
submission,
for even
DQ,
half an
DQ.
hour end up 4-3 or 3-2. There's lots of pinfalls, whereas they managed to keep
I'm
you
trying to remember
equally
what
in
match it
suspense
was.
without any. Let's
Got
go
one.
with some.
I
Go
got
on.
one. And it's an odd one because it wasn't a pay-per-view match.
Okay.
It confused me because I think it was the Iron Man match on SmackDown.
Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can see why I picked. Do you understand why I picked that?
That's a decent match.
It's a decent match, and what my brain couldn't fathom was it's not even pay-per-view. It's not even pay-per-view.
Well, okay, I'm going to go slightly left field for my next
Well,
choice.
I wouldn't include it in my list, but if you want a match that's actually decent, that went the hour mark without a pinfall but wasn't an Iron Man match, go watch John Cena versus Shawn Michaels the night after WrestleMania.
Oh,
But
Yeah,
good call,
I wouldn't
good call.
include that on
Good
my
call,
list.
obviously.
no, that's fine.
But
Yeah.
if you want to watch a match that can go for an hour,
Two guys who just emphatically know what they're doing in the ring
Yeah,
and can carry that off.
definitely. Go on.
I'm going to say, for my third choice, I'm going to go for something that maybe, I would hope most of the listeners have heard of, but if they haven't, I would encourage them to check it out. And that would be Davey Richards against Jack Gallagher from Future Shock Super Show
Definitely.
in 2012.
But this,
in
unfortunately,
Manchester.
if I'm not mistaken, the criteria was with WWE.
I didn't hear him say that, did he?
it'd be nice if people have heard of the match.
This is just...
It's something to compare to.
Okay, it's a personal bias for me because I was actually there and also because I'm struggling to think of a WWE match without resorting to
Knowledge.
things like
Your knowledge is failing you.
without resorting to things like the 2001 Royal Rumble, which is to watch is one of my most enjoyable matches. It probably doesn't rank on anyone else's favourites list, but
But it's of your favourite matches.
It's your favourite
In all
matches.
fairness, if Jack Gallagher versus
Davey Richards.
Davey Richards is one of your favourite matches,
Yeah.
that's fair enough.
I
I can understand why, because I've seen the match myself.
if you haven't seen it, I can't encourage you enough to watch it.
Like,
For me, because we've got it as WWE,
well, I've got one that isn't WWE that I can put on my
we will.
list.
We won't be putting it on the list. We'll put them more or less tucked away in the.
I could put it on my list. I'd quite happily put
Yeah.
it on my list.
What is it?
Hold on.
Grado versus Drew Galloway at ICW
Oh,
for the Rock City, the Princess in another
Well,
castle,
there you
which
go.
is available to view for £3.99
On
or
the- on
for
the-
free
on
on
demand.
YouTube.
Yeah.
it's on free on YouTube, or if you want to go to the ICW network.
In all fairness, the volume from that does not do the actual event justice
No, it doesn't.
No,
because
I can
we were
believe-
loud all
we were
night.
there.
I can
And if I'm not
believe-
mistaken,
The crowd was
Whoa.
red hot.
if I'm not mistaken, didn't we see somebody front row on the camera in a pink shirt,
Blue shirts.
blue shirt, standing on the front row, very noticeable. Oh, it was you,
I
wasn't it?
wonder who that
It was
could be.
me
Well, here's it. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
because I didn't move from that spot all night.
No, you didn't. Until the when the security attempted to move you, which was quite hilarious, and Sabu's come out.
Stand back.
Stand back. No!
I've paid 20 quid. If that bastard's jumping,
We're
I'm
catching
it.
Perfectly expectable response.
And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that when we're calling for tables and Sabu's going for tables. Where the fuck are the tables?
We
Oh,
want
then.
to.
Yeah.
So let's not get up a check now. We want tables.
And then it then changed from we want tables to we want fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. That drunk crowd is going to escalate.
In all fairness, I don't think anyone was drunk because if you're around the ring, if you moved, you lost your spot.
Oh,
And
I
you were
see.
not losing your spot.
Fair enough. Okay, but
But I would quite happily include that on my list as number 4
Oh,
because even though the match itself isn't like brilliant, there's a story there and the build up. Like the first 5 minutes of the match, the crowd was buzzing and they'd done nothing.
Yeah.
yeah, the crowd was on the edge of their seat already, and they've done nothing.
There was no
else.
fucking seats either.
Figure of speech.
And the rest.
Okay, so what would your? Are you having that as your fourth choice then?
Yeah, I
what
quite
would your
like
fourth
that.
And you've got your third is.
No, I said my third is Jack Gallagher and Davey Richards. We need your fourth one now.
It's a tough one because if you're including all British wrestling, because that's just basically just kicked the door open for a lot of matches
Yeah. Well, that's
for me.
yeah, but you asked what my favourites were, so
Okay.
not all WWE. 'cause,
Okay. Just give me a minute. I will come up with one.
well, I can think of my fourth one, which is a WWE match. While
If
you're
you-
thinking,
if you want to do that.
Which is-
more.
No, that was the previous one. No, John Cena against Umaga from 2008.
Is that SummerSlam?
I think so. Yeah.
Right.
Not afraid to
I
say
can go
that a John
number
Cena
5
match.
if you want.
Now he needs to catch up, or else they'll have to come up with 2, and that'll take all night. So.
Yeah, it will take all night. However, I do
I'm
think.
going to need your help for the competitors for my number 5.
What?
Because I
The-
know the match, and there's one spot which stands out to me for this, but I need your help when it comes to it.
Okay. Well, we'll help you, but let's. Matt Burns needs to pick a
Mine-
fourth first.
Fourth, and I wasn't there personally. I have seen it though, and it's an amazing match. Steel Cage, South Side, Martin Kirby, Ali Guerrero.
Need to say no more.
You wouldn't know about that one yourself.
2 incredibly capable workers, and
Oh no!
they didn't disappoint.
And the difference was, it'd been revealed that Martin Kirby was Ego Dragon.
Yes.
This match was quite. For a cage, as much as like how everyone
Much
sees the cage
overused
match,
in wrestling terms, but it was.
they
brutal.
used this. They used this to its full extent. This match was barbaric. This was, you're looking at it, and at the end of it, you're like, you didn't know where you pick up your jaw from. It wasn't like it wasn't like, oh, they just won the match, so let's pick up the cage and dust it off. It was literally, you knew that was the last match. It was barbaric. It was a battle. The ring looked like the ring itself looked injured from the match.
I get you.
So, my fifth one, I'm drawn between two TNA matches. Yes, you've heard this right.
TNA matches. Stranger things have happened.
So, one of them is a triple threat match.
Oh, I don't know where this is.
Which is AJ Styles, Samoa Joe,
motherfucker! You
Christopher
motherfucker!
Daniels.
and Christopher Daniels.
The original one from 2005.
Yes.
Yes.
But I'll put that at probably 6 because there's a cage match which I absolutely love, which was a tag team one, which was Primetime Elix Skipper
And Christopher Daniels.
Which
is Triple X.
Yeah, against AMW, is it?
America's Most Wanted.
James Harris and
Wildcat
Chris
Harris.
And James
Yeah.
Storm.
And James Storm, Cowboy James Storm.
I can't remember the other tag team.
The other,
Wasn't there?
no,
is it
just
just two.
just
The one where
teams.
Skipper
Because he runs across
the top of the cage.
Yes.
But it was a 6-sided cage, I think, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was.
Yes.
From the
And he runs across this 6-sided cage and hits like the most amazing Hanakarana I have ever seen. And the balance to run across the cage.
is
Because he could have
unreal.
fucking fell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
Can't argue with that. It's an awesome match, and it happened in TNA. Wonders never cease.
Like, TNA, I can't believe I'm about to try to defend them. 2005 to 2007,
8-ish. Yeah.
they were the best wrestling company on the planet.
I've got to be honest. I also have a TNA match that's probably one of my favourites because, honestly, tell me a bad match that this guy's been in, and I'll point and laugh at you. It was the artist who, for the sake of TNA, was called Desmond Wolfe, who no better as Nigel McGuinness, against Kurt Angle.
Which one are you saying who's had a bad match?
No, I'm saying find me a bad match Kurt Angle's been in, and I'll find you. I'll call you a liar.
No. You want to take this one or do you want me?
I can.
Go for it.
Royal Rumble 2000 against Taz.
Okay, I said that because I wanted you to prove me wrong.
How
You
about-
spectacularly have?
How about the one where he had a match in TNA against Sting, and he went for the 450 and ended up landing his knees and Sting's back?
Yeah, that's not good either.
Yeah.
Anyway, that match against
I'll be able to
Called
point
Desmond
something out
Wolfe at
because
the
I
time.
don't know if you realise this. Because I've now gone back and watched the 2000 Royal Rumble where Taz debuted,
Yeah.
and Taz nearly choked Kurt Angle out.
Oh, yeah.
Out,
Yeah.
legitimately. Like, he nearly took an amateur wrestling champion and choked him the fuck out.
legit, yeah.
Pretty legit. Now for me,
Which I don't know if that was Taz's way of saying, no one's properly introduced you yet to wrestling, welcome to wrestling.
or
Or if he was still thinking it was
Or-
ECW and he needs to be a little bit stiffer.
choke, or he's trying to show that he's not a push around.
Yeah,
Possibly. Could possibly be any one of those.
because what impressed me about Taz, that have you ever seen Big Boss Man snap a nightstick?
Oh,
Yes.
Well, he snaps it clean over the head on SmackDown or Raw, I think. And he smacks it clean over the head of Taz. And Taz just stands up like nothing's happened. I'm there going, you crazy motherfucker.
Quite rightly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm stuck between two. So, whichever one I don't pick is going to be an honourable mention.
Number 6, yeah, fair enough.
It's tough because I'm stuck between that triple threat
The Samoa Joe one.
or a certain Ultimate X match, which involves AJ Styles, P.T. Williams, Chris Sabin.
I know the match you mean. Damn good match. Not on my top 5 list, but damn good.
I'm going to go with the triple threat of Samoa Joe, Daniels.
And if, as
And
we've
AJ.
both got one, if it could possibly be number 6 on my list, that would be that. Definitely, because it's a damn fine match. Which just makes me think it's such a shame that 2/3 of that match are now in WWE. It's such a shame that the third part of that triangle probably won't ever be.
He has been.
What, in a way that could possibly have a go at retrying that match in a WWE ring?
However,
I don't think it'd be the same match.
No, just ask TNA when they tried to get them to redo it in about 2011? It's a good match. It wasn't the same as the original.
it won't be. And take into account, bodies were younger. Not as-
They were more willing to take more risks.
It was some more mileage that could go on the clock.
Pretty much.
Whereas now,
Which now there isn't in at least 2 of the 3 cases.
it's like if you remember AJ Styles from TNA, he could do all flips and 450s.
If I'm not are you referring to an old finishing move he used to call the Spiral Tap? Yeah.
Where you won't see that in WWE. It's a case of he still can do it, but I think it's a case of where he knows it takes a little bit more toll on the body and he needs to work a safer style to prolong his career.
Or he's probably been told.
In all fairness, like the older they get, I think they look at it of why did I do that when I was younger? When to get a reaction, all they had to do was just kick him in the head or something.
Yeah. Are you thinking maybe that AJ's saving one more of them for, I don't know, next year's WrestleMania, or like he's saving it up? He's got a few left, and
Possibly,
saving them
possibly.
In
for
all
prize
fairness,
moments.
I don't often say this, but I waited for ages for CM Punk to get a Pepsi plunge.
And it never happened.
Never going to happen. Not on the WWE.
Like, I thought it would have come out of WrestleMania.
I knew it
I
wasn't
honestly
coming.
thought it would as well, but
I knew it wasn't coming.
What? In all fairness, you can't never say never, because WrestleMania...
The only
like,
person I can see it doing it is Triple H himself.
No.
And he wouldn't do that.
But, what, it's WrestleMania, you can't never say never. Like, did you ever think you'd see John Cena perform a springboard stunner?
of course not. Until he actually did it, of course not.
I knew we could possibly do it, but I didn't expect him to do it in WWE.
Like, people that didn't realise back in the 80s, Hulk Hogan could do an Enziguri.
Yeah.
Yep,
It's true.
that's very true.
And so therefore that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking maybe in the next couple of years, AJ might break a move like that out
But then again-
for
but-
WrestleMania,
but
but
then
he's
again,
saving it.
how-
It's a bit like Seth Rollins saves the Phoenix Splash.
Or,
Yeah.
if you remember, when Big Show was the Giant, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he used to do a moonsault?
Yeah.
And drop kicks.
And drop kicks, which for a man his size, pretty
Yeah.
much just...
I think he's slowed down a bit now. I don't think you'll see him.
No,
I doubt he
but-
can do moonsaults anymore. But
No,
yeah, I know what you're
no.
saying.
But the point being is, he's gotten smarter. He's doing different stuff. He's doing what works for him, his body,
Now,
for
yeah, exactly.
him. And as time goes on, it's going to be one or the other. It's going to be, is it working for me? Is it not? And you know what you don't want is a wrestler who wrestles on a show, and you watch their body crumble.
You just watch them trying in vain to do things that they used to do every week 10 years ago, but just they can't keep up anymore.
That sounds familiar. Wouldn't you agree? We've seen something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we've all seen it happen, and it's sad when it does, but I know what you're saying about keeping the special moves for, well, basically not busting them out every week. I think more
The
people
the
should
thing
learn
about
that
it
as
is,
well, because, you know,
it's not just
just
that.
because you can do something
doesn't mean you should.
Like, because in all fairness, like, how cool would it have been, like, to see Petey Williams just use a normal pile driver 90% of the time,
And save the
then-
Canadian Destroyer for special occasions.
and then
Yeah.
when he, like, desperate times call for desperate measures, you know?
Yeah.
I completely agree. Yeah.
So, like, say he's out of trouble or someone's on the comeback, and then out of nowhere he comes out with a Canadian Destroyer, and you're like, it's over now.
Mind's blown.
Yeah. Mind's blown, game's over. Just like something that will never happen, sadly, because I get the feeling it's banned in WWE still. But if, say, Kevin Owens at next WrestleMania pulled out a package pile driver,
I think I think you'll see Kevin Owens pull out a package power drive on Sami Zayn at some point in time.
I'm pretty sure at some point the feud will have
Well,
escalated that far,
I think it will
which
happen.
may result to
I'll-
a storyline ban for Kevin Owens for using a banned
I don't think
move.
it will be a storyline ban.
But
It'd more likely be a real life finding.
no, because he'll have checked with management first.
As
I
long
don't
as he's got the
think
clear
he's- I think he's got a
management.
brain in his head.
Fair
Well,
enough.
I do think you'll see a package power drive off a ladder at some point.
At some point, but I think it's
Like off
a
Ladder
case
Wars.
of
I highly doubt that one.
Like, that's a great match.
I highly
Yes.
doubt we'll see one like that.
yeah. I doubt we will, but wouldn't that be
If I'm not
as the
mistaken,
escalation?
I actually thought he killed El Generico just before he went on his.
But if
Trip
the
to
feud has
Mexico.
kept escalating, wouldn't that be just something for you to go? Yes, he has saved that for the
I will
right
say
moment.
this though, Kevin
If
Owens.
that happened at a WrestleMania, you'd go, holy fuck.
Oh, definitely.
That would be
Definitely.
undeniably a major
And someone's
WrestleMania
already
moment.
You're already breaking the equipment, are we?
Yeah.
Where's the
You keep
cleaner?
loading shit up in the studio.
Yeah.
I've got nowhere to use as my armrest.
That's not mine.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've done it on the week when the cleaner's not even here, so who's going to tidy that up?
That's not mine. That's sound guys.
Well, some
What's
guy
that?
needs to sort his shit out.
He needs to do his job, but he's calling sick.
Again.
Again.
But then again, you did hurt his feelings last time he was here. You did upset him.
It's been 7 weeks and 15 hours. But nothing compares to him when he's here.
Moving swiftly on. Where were we? Oh yeah.
Why?
We were talking about greatest wrestling matches, and
Moving
obviously
back.
we're well aware that it's a subjective thing. So I wonder. I'm quite surprised actually that we all agree quite so much.
In all fairness, if you put a list of greatest matches up and you ask people to vote on them honestly, I think you find the general consensus of matches that people agree on. Like, throw the odd one in, maybe 1997 Madison Square Garden Street Fight, Triple H versus Cactus Jack, or
Brutal.
Brutal.
No way out.
No, I'd go for the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble was a better match than No Way Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
No Way Out had a bit of overkill on it.
It was a case
No
of
kidding.
it was a case of shit. How do we top the Royal Rumble?
No,
Oh.
it was a case of how can Mick Foley get back into the ring without me chucking him down? I know. We'll do something that hasn't been done yet. I'm throwing through the fucking cell.
And actually have the ring prepared this time. Throws him. Please land right, please land right, please land right. Yep, he's fine.
Don't land like Shane when the glass didn't break. For God's sake, please don't.
No, don't land like how he landed last time when falling through the cell with a chair at King of the Ring.
No, yeah, let's not
And
go
if you
there.
remember, a certain
My problem with that spot, and it's a very, very tricky one, how's he not got piles? Because if you watch him go through, gets back body dropped, his ass hits the thingy, and it goes through, and he practically hits the ring in an upright position, sitting up.
Yeah. Landing from 16 feet in the air on your ass.
do take
Ask
into
Johnny the
do-
Bull. That's not a good thing.
Do take into account he does have injuries where he struggles to walk. He does have massive injuries. He may have had piles.
I would
Who
have to
knows?
suggest they were pretty severe ones after that.
But if you watch that, like, just watch that one spot, when you see him go through, it's practically like a person on a magic carpet. He's sitting
whole new world.
upright.
Yeah,
And
it's
when he goes through, well, everyone knows what the ring's made of. It's steel, bit of plywood,
some
mats or
canvas.
canvas, and he's lucky he didn't hit the metal bar.
He really is.
Oh,
That would have been a career ender on the spot. Impossible.
potentially
a life ender,
It's
so
alright.
he's
It's
damn
alright.
lucky.
My brain just sort of I just have to check out for me
Yeah.
because I just the thought of
Ugh.
it.
Mass shuddering in the studio. That would have been a career ender and possibly
Pretty much.
worse.
Well, it's supposed to be a career-ending match anyway.
But as Mick Foley says, that would have been a great way to end.
It
And
didn't
he was
end
back.
then, But
A
we
little
all
bit
know
later.
about that, so there's no point going
But
into
we don't
that
need to go
again.
through that. But if you want to hear that from Mick Foley himself, just go check out the DVD for All Mankind.
Yeah.
Available on the WWE Network for
$9.99.
Or you can go into DVD stores and purchase it, or go online and purchase it. But if you want, recommendation, $9.99.
WWE Network, $9.99.
well, you can also view Camp WWE.
Which is
As well.
very entertaining.
And ride along.
I can't wait to see the Byron Saxton one. I can't wait to see JBL and Cole take the piss out of Saxton.
I can't
Or
wait
if
to see
Saxton
if
stands up
maybe
for himself.
away from Vince McMahon shouting in his ear, if Saxton stands up for himself. That could
Yeah.
be interesting.
Yeah. Oh, let's just repeat to him. We're not on TV now, jackasses.
So,
Matt Burns with a hitherto unknown Byron Saxton impression there.
That wasn't even meant to be a Baron section impersonation. I was just saying it.
Scary, whatever it was meant to be. Moving on.
so last week we said we were going to book our first part
What?
up.
We did, but there's one thing we need to get off the chest beforehand quickly, and it's got to be mentioned: the Cody Rhodes.
We mentioned it last week.
About the Kurt Angle on his list.
Particularly.
I think it's a massive dose of bothered in enveloping the
In
other
some
two
people,
members
in
of the
some
studio
people's
right
eyes,
now.
but it's a good way for him to interact with his fans, possibly the way he did it, to see who they would like him to see first.
I'm about to open a tin of worms which you probably don't want opened. Right.
I might as well open them for you.
Needless to say, you're going to do it anyway.
There you go.
So, TNA at the moment averages about 200,000 views. Yes?
Yep.
Yes.
On Pop.
Yes.
Cody Rhodes, how many Twitter followers does he have?
Probably more than that. In the millions, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, looking about 1 million.
Yeah.
So, if he thinks he's such a star,
Yeah.
why don't he go to TNA?
Maybe that's a different view.
But, if
What,
he
you
wants
mean
to
beyond
prove...
the obvious
No,
complete
no.
clause?
No,
I agree.
His no complete clause is running out soon. But, if he wants to prove he's a big star, and he thinks he can change ratings, why doesn't he go to TNA? Have a look if he can take
And see,
maybe
even
20-30%.
I was going to say, even if 50,000 of his fans
No.
transfer across,
50,000's nothing.
but
Football might not be on that night, and people go, "Oh, I've heard Jeff Hardy's on it." I'm about to set the fire extinguisher to the Cody Rhodes situation. There's a reason he didn't get higher than Intercontinental Champion WWE.
is that
Because he was always living in his dad's shadow.
It's a shame.
He
It's a
wasn't as
shame,
good as
but
his
it's a
dad,
fact.
and in all fairness, he wasn't as good as his brother.
No, he didn't have the charisma that his dad or his brother had.
He's a good in-ring superstar, good worker. Just very
Solid worker.
bland on the
Yeah,
mic.
just incredibly bland.
Well-
Which is, I think, partly the reason why
Oh.
the Stardust character was created. Because it gave him a reason to... It gave him a sort of the face paint and the outfit, and
It
that
did.
gave him charisma without him having to say much.
It did in a way, but it was sort of a bit unusual the way things were.
I personally don't think there's going to be as big of a deal as he thinks it is outside the WWE.
Possibly.
I think many people who leave WWE
Possibly.
think
But,
they're going to be considered a bigger deal than they turn out.
but then
to
again,
be.
a lot of people who are leaving companies are normal ones who say that. And here's the thing.
No names, Mr. Kennedy.
In all fairness, the person I think is going to
Anderson,
thrive
he's dead.
the most outside of WWE is Damien Sandow.
And I believe that he will. I hope that he will. I think he deserves to, because he didn't get a chance.
Barrett, maybe.
I'm not even sure where Barrett's going to be doing any wrestling for the foreseeable future, is he?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
He will. I can see it.
Yeah.
But
I'm just looking...
it's tough.
Once his no-compete clause is up, do you know what,
But
what I
everybody
would
who
like to
leaves...
look forward to, seriously, if I can just delve into fancy booking here, Barrett turning up in a certain Scottish promotion.
Possible.
we talked about this before.
But anyway, I'm going to just cover this. Everyone always states, when they leave the company, I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. That's their decision, that if they want to leave. Everybody goes through the motions. I do agree with you in saying that, why don't you go over to TNA and do his own little thing. But at the same time, I think also it probably doesn't exactly help that when he's making suggestions to further his, not more or less just to further himself, but more or less of get out of a situation where he's not happy. Which they actually said to him, give us something we can work with.
He did.
He did. And what did they do?
Sat on it.
We'll think about it, sit on it, and not get back to you.
Yeah. That's got to be dispiriting. Although,
Straight away, regardless of it, that's going to hurt the ego.
playing devil's advocate here, surely, even in a situation like that, he possibly should have done a Wade Barrett. Played devil's advocate here. Maybe he should have just gone, right, I'm not going to renew my career, but whatever you give me, until such time as it runs out, I'm going to do my best with it, no matter how crappy I personally think it is.
True, but
It might have eased his path out of the door.
the
a little
problem
bit.
with it is they weren't actually giving anything. Most of the time, you're just in the crowd going, "Ooh!" near the end,
Yeah, that's annoying.
which sort of just.
But, you know.
Do you know how bad it was? How bad it was with them just sitting in the crowd.
Go on.
I just looked at him and thought, is he just a spectator?
Yeah.
He didn't even feel part of the roster. It looked like it was more of a punishment thing.
Oh,
And-
well, maybe. But there is definitely an argument to be had of just
But-
take the chicken shit they give you and do the best to make a chicken salad out of it.
True. But to be honest with you,
Him versus Kurt Angle, who does that benefit the most?
Cody,
Given that Kurt Angle has been, what,
I say
non-TNA
Cody.
fans would probably agree with me in saying out of the spotlight in TNA for the last, how long has he been there now? 8 years? Probably benefits Cody more, to be honest.
Well, is Kurt Angle a higher level than Cody Rhodes?
wrestling wise, he's more noticeable.
Oh,
He's
well,
more
well,
noticeable.
Popularity.
Wrestling wise, well, 10 years ago when he was at the height of his WWE fame, yes, but how much damage has TNA done to him?
It has done well. I wouldn't say that because when there was the rumor of Rusev doing that US Open challenge, people were making memes when Kurt Angle's contract was up in TNA, saying, "I'm a coming." He's still popular.
There's a reason why WWE won't have Kurt Angle back, though,
It-
which is beyond anything that he might say about not wanting to go.
What's your reason? I'll tell you if it's the right one.
What?
He's on about
Is-
the fact that they want him to work on a full contract.
No, they don't want to.
No, they
work
don't
on
want
a
him
full
to.
contract.
The reason they won't
Full-time
have him back
schedule.
is he pushing 40 or is he north of 40 now? Broken down, and they don't think he can cope with a WWE schedule, even a part-time one.
No, they wanted to offer him a part-time Legends contract. So, comes in, does a couple of programs, has the blowout, Hall of Fame, Legends contract.
Gone.
Does a part-time.
Which
But
his ego
they
couldn't
don't
accept,
think
because
he would pass the fitness test, which you now have to, like the medical, because of his neck.
That's what I'm saying. They don't think he could withstand. That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't pass a fitness test because of A, his neck, B, he spent his lifetime wrestling, so his body is not as in as prime condition as it would have been even 5 years ago. Yeah, he's just not physically capable anymore.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, I think you would have seen him back in a WWE ring
Soon.
last time his contract expired, or possibly even the time before.
Not always necessarily. He could have been actually enjoying TNA.
No, well, the thing,
Wrestling
yeah, he could have been.
different people.
But I think, like most people, if his home was in WWE, there are lots of people who still want him back. If they'd made the offer when he'd gone away and sensibly weighed up the pros and cons, I think he would have gone. But the thing is, WWE didn't make the offer because, well, various reasons. But
XYZ, yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, moving on from that subject, shall we get to the subject you'd like to discuss?
Okay.
So, we were going to fantasy book our way to SummerSlam. We're not going to have time to go to SummerSlam.
Nope.
So, you book the next pay-per-view from here,
Which is
From now,
which is Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
With the rosters that we've got.
Okay.
You've
So
got 3 matches each.
so we're doing Money in the Bank then.
yeah, so
Yeah, the
it's a-
Women's Championship is yours.
It's a split pay per view, so you've got 3 matches each.
Oh, we can't exactly do Money in the Bank because that's what he's been booked.
You won Money in the Bank. you had Kevin Owens win Money in the Bank.
Yeah, so that's the event.
You said that.
Yeah, so you have 3 matches to pick with your roster.
3 matches
Well,
to
the
book.
money in the Bank match has got to be 3 on.
It's inter-promotional.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter too
Which
much.
we already know, unfortunately. Spoiler alert! We've already decided the winner on that one.
So you got the women's match and the
US title.
no the heavyweight championship, and I got the tag titles for
Yeah.
this one. So my first feud I'd have with the roster that I've got available to me. So I would have my first match be John Cena versus Seth Rollins as a number 1 contenders match for the world title.
Good call.
Yeah.
For me, seeing as I've got the women's match, might as well get it out of the way. Women's champion Charlotte versus Bailey.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Fair
Would you
enough.
change the title, or would you have Charlotte retain?
You didn't mention who wins your match.
Well, I can go through that after because that doesn't have any
That
outcome
doesn't
on my
really
bookie.
make any difference because that's not a title match.
Where the title match does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but why don't we just mention that after? Because that would be more like a bit of a shock if there's something new.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, yeah.
So then after, I'd have a ladder match.
Money in the Bank.
No, for the tag titles contract at a shot of their choosing. I'd have
Okay.
the Usos versus Big Cass and Enzo versus the Vaude Villains versus the Revival.
Can't fault that.
Did you have the tag team champ titles? That's alright, carry on.
And I'd also throw the current the current tag team champions in there. So I thought you had the tag title.
No,
So I'd
you-
make it a 5-way tag match, which is 10 person. I'd throw the New Day in there, but I'd put it as Kofi and Big E defending.
I
I'd
didn't
keep
win
Xavier
win
Woods.
all of them.
No, so I'd keep Xavier Woods out. But one of the spots I'd like in that match,
Actually,
I'd like
I've just
Kofi and
found-
Big E to
I've
do
just
like a walk
found-
to try and grab.
I've
That
found
would be
out the
nice.
mistake we've made.
Okay.
You had the women's championship.
No, I didn't. Well, you have the women's, I'll have the tag.
No,
I've booked it now.
That's fine.
It's done.
It's done. We traded on it.
It's done.
Next match for me would be AJ Styles versus
Solid choice.
AJ Styles versus Apollo Crews.
Okay.
Interesting.
You
Because
can go through his build up after.
I can go to be built up
Okay.
after, but I'll explain that one. It's more or less of because of story for what I've got ideas for storyline wise. It's something that I'm going to be possibly building up to.
okay.
So, my final match would be for the Intercontinental Championship,
Okay.
and I would have Finn Balor as the Demon versus The Miz.
Okay.
And I believe have I got 2 more matches or 1?
Well, you've
I've only got 1, so I've left my.
You should leave the world title. If you want to put the world title on, you can do. I'll let you have 4 for this one. If you want to put your US and the world title on.
because you need a US title match as well.
You sure? Have an actual match?
Yeah.
We'll
you
make
can.
that the. Let's make that the thingy. The. What is it? Pre-show. Shall we?
What, the US title?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, you normally have 8 matches on a card, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ladder match into promotional anyway.
Wow.
You've got the world champion, so you might as well have the 4 proper matches for your brand this month.
Fair enough. I've got for the for Rusev. I'm going to be making a quick emergency purchase which will be Titus O'Neil. For that.
Okay.
So you follow real life.
For that one, yeah. For the main belt, which, if I'm not mistaken, in real life, we've got Roman Reigns versus
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, which we can't do.
Because I've got Seth.
So I would do Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose.
So, I'll go through the first choice of mine. John Cena versus Seth Rollins. John Cena returns a week before he's actually done this time.
Yeah.
And he comes out, he says, I'm back, better than ever. However, someone else has come back, saying that he is better than ever.
That he's the man.
You know, he wants to rebuild and remodel. Well, this person's come back and rebuild and remodeled more times than I care to remember. So, let's have a look who's the best.
Good. I can see where you...
That's logical. Yeah.
Definitely.
And then that way, you start Seth Rollins' slow face turn, where he wants to prove, without a shadow of a doubt, no tricks, no Jon Stewart's, that he is the
The
best.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Perfectly logical.
Because I can pretty much gather you're thinking... I can see where you're coming from. You're probably instantly assuming that I'm going to be on the same page to help you with the storyline for your next event, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, in all fairness, how I'd end that match, so I could carry it on into, because the next pay-per-view is actually SummerSlam, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would actually have that end in a double count-out in the ring, where both of them trade blows and they go to the top rope, and you can just see John Cena go for the top rope FU.
And
But this time we can't answer the 10 count, because all the punishment is took from the Phoenix Splash, a pedigree, and everything else.
he's taking a beating.
And both of them can't make it to the count, so I'd then have that to carry on to SummerSlam.
That would be a good way to break him in, because he just returned from injury as well.
Yeah. And then that way, it leads up to SummerSlam, where I can save the big match for further.
I can see what you're thinking here, which is quite clever, but rest assured, for what I've got in store, it may assist you for future references.
No, you don't have to assist me, I mean to prove I'm the better brand.
Oh, no.
I don't need pity.
This isn't petty. This is how I'd actually book it anyway, regardless, because I think WWE do actually, I've actually made a mistake.
Okay, fair enough.
But we'll get that. We'll get to what I'm referring to later on. Straight away, we've got me first pick, which I originally said I'll move it down,
Which is the women's title.
which I did say was women's title. But if I'm not mistaken, you did give me the extra match with the Rusev. So I mentioned the Rusev match first, which is Rusev versus Titus. Rusev is getting a bit, basically, bit battered and bruised, because Titus O'Neil, he's no small guy. However, the extra factor of Lana being there is too much. Rusev pretty much slaps in the accolade and makes him tap out and stays your remaining US champion.
So then I'd move on. I would have my ladder match next. And at this point, I would change champions.
Oh.
I would go with Enzo and Big Cass as the title holders. I'd have all the fun spots that you're expecting. With the one spot I'd like to see, which I haven't seen for a while, is Kofi on the shoulders of Big E trying to grab the titles. I think that'd be interesting. Also, a rocket launcher maybe from the top of a ladder, where Cass chucks Enzo a little bit further.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I'm down with that.
I'm
down with that.
I'm a little bit wary of that. What with
No.
Enzo's recent propensity for bad landings. It's a fairly high.
Hitting the ropes the way that he did, it's a freak accident. So, in all fairness, I'd have faith in Cass being able to chuck him. Seeing as at some of the live events, I've seen him launch Enzo over the head of the Revival.
Pretty much.
Fair enough.
I think if I'm not mistaken, he's done that at a certain pay-per-view. where the Revival running backwards to catch Enzo.
Yeah,
Fair enough. No problem.
but I'd have the title swap hands there.
That's fine.
It'd be a good match, couple of close finishes,
Good solid. Good solid.
and then I'd also introduce Carmella.
To the mix with them,
Which is what they're missing.
which is what they're missing. I like what you've done there. I definitely like what you've done there. Next match for me, Women's Championship. Which, as we mentioned, Charlotte versus Bailey. Now we know this can be a bit of a good match. Would you agree?
Has the potential.
Goes back and forth, back and forth. Bailey is just about to win the match. Bailey is, but usual tactics comes into play. She gets the cheating ways, and ever so popular, could I possibly borrow somebody from your roster?
Yeah.
To cause the infringements, which would be Dana Brooke, who will cause a distraction. However, you can possibly, you know, straight away there, which would upset Bailey, get her upset because she feels robbed. Immediately, straight away, there's, you know, she's still cheating, but without a father. Moving on, next match.
Which would be the Intercontinental title match, which would be the Demon, Finn Balor versus The Miz. I'd have Miz retain, thanks
With
to
or without
Maurice,
the help of Maurice, okay.
but I wouldn't have Finn Balor pinned.
No.
I'd have him at the coup de grace, and then after, as the one's going down, as that goes down, then Maurice comes in, grabs the title, smacks the Demon over the head with it, and then after he flips out on Miz and hits a second.
Brutal.
Or he could even hit Bloody Sunday.
Oh, brutal.
Ooh, I'd save that for possibly the rematch. I wouldn't go for that straight
No,
away.
he has been actually hitting that.
Mm,
He has been hitting Brainbusters as well. Good call.
nice.
There's one match we didn't throw in, which will be the actual Money in the Bank. I'll mention 3 names. You mention 3 names.
Okay.
Straight away, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
So I'd throw in Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, and I would also throw in Chris Jericho.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And that would actually be quite an entertaining match there. That'd be a good call. But we've already know what the winner of that match, as already pre-stressed previously, which would be Kevin Owens. I'd probably have Kevin Owens just knock off Sami Zayn, just as Zayn is just about to reach it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
No, it's got to be something to continue their rivalry as
Yeah.
well as propel Kevin Owens forward.
So that's more
yeah.
of a dual one. Next on the list is is it one more match, or have you got one more yourself?
I don't know. Have you done
No, I've done mine.
So is this just my last match?
which is what the US title? Or have you done that?
No, he's done his US. He's done the women's title. So you've got your
2 more.
yeah.
AJ Styles versus Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
Now
Interested
this
to hear
one,
the reasoning behind this one.
it just looks like it's a turn-up match. Now AJ Styles is going through his phase of will he, won't he? I wouldn't have had him already switched. He's in the unknown, where Apollo Crews is trying to make a name for himself. What better person would you want to make a name against?
What, to make a name for himself at AJ's expense to turn him to the dark side, or as it to so to
No,
speak?
just to advance himself.
Oh, okay.
But we have AJ going over, using the calf crusher, but the match is that back and forth, and bit of a close call. It comes to the point where when he locks it in, he's keeping it on, and he doesn't look like he's letting go, but then he eventually lets go. But however, at the end of it, he sort of he's got somebody in mind he wants to face, and he sort of just turns to the camera, and then he sort of just says, "I'm coming for the crown. I'm coming for the crown of strong style." So there we go.
Which sets up for SummerSlam. Yeah.
Then my next match would be main event. Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns. We can have these going. This is probably built up from Roman Reigns saying he's the guy.
Yeah.
The guy. Dean can be getting tired of hearing it. He's the guy, he's the guy. But then Roman's sort of picking at him. You were almost the guy. You came so close against Seth, but you couldn't, you weren't man enough. Basically, I'd have it so it looks like Roman is turning on Dean. And Dean's sort of getting a bit sick to death of Roman's attitude towards saying he's the guy, he's the man. And Dean's basically wanting to prove that on any given night, he can. So straight away, we have the match out, and it's a hard fought match. It's going back and forth. Roman's hitting Superman punches, Dean's doing his lariats and everything. It goes back and forth, back and forth. Somehow, the referee gets knocked out. Gets knocked out the ring. Dean hits Dirty Deeds. He's got Roman pinned. He's got Roman dead to rights. By the time the referee comes in, he kicks out. Dean goes for another Dirty Deeds. However, Roman Reigns hits a low blow, gets himself disqualified. So, Dean won the match.
But Roman escaped.
Roman escapes by literally using a DQ to keep the championship on himself. And he's saying, and you can have Roman declaring, "You didn't beat me. You didn't beat the guy."
Yeah.
What do you
Okay.
think? Good call?
Well, since he's here, you can ask the impartial one.
Yeah, I would probably not come away from that thinking I'd been screwed out of my money. I think that was $9.99's worth, that pay-per-view, definitely.
Anything that stands out to you? Anything that you thought was unusual?
AJ Styles versus Apollo Crews.
Yeah, that was a match that you've explained your reasoning, it makes sense, but...
It was something I was considering throwing in Shinsuke Nakamura in first, but I had that already planned for
Yeah, don't go straight for
SummerSlam, but
yeah.
Who's leading up strongest to SummerSlam then?
who would you say?
Oh, goodness me. Do I have to pick? Because you're both doing a pretty good job, but...
You can be honest. Listen, none of us will be offended.
You've got positives on both sides. I mean,
Explain them that.
the tag team match, something I want to see. But also...
Oh, no, even I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of that.
But also, I genuinely think that it's not something I would have thought of, but AJ against Apollo Crews is probably going to be a pretty damn good match. You know, so...
It's one that's out of left field, but it's something that...
I think you've got this quite good because it's early doors for the brand splits, so it's too early maybe to pick sides. The whole thing meshes well together as a show, but I don't think you can pick one side over the other, particularly.
You happy with that result?
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. So, straight down the middle.
I've got to be honest.
I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that because we feel like we've had some fair results.
Yeah, and the combined elements add up to make
any
you want
shockers?
to know what's going to happen next.
Any shockers?
No, nothing that's made me go, Well, I didn't see that coming.
Oh, there was one that I didn't see coming, and if this match goes towards him,
This is, yeah.
would be the tag match. I didn't expect you to pass the tag titles over so soon.
Well, the New Day have held them since.
They've had them for
But-
what? Getting them for 300 days?
But-
It's been a while.
It's refreshing.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly think Enzo and Big Cass are the tag team needed to take it
Of those
forward.
It's
Like, I've been watching Raw, and the interaction with the crowd is brilliant.
Yeah,
Like, it
it's
reminds me
great.
of like how the Outlaws used to get a reaction. It doesn't matter if the face of heels. Like, they're always going to get the crowd interaction.
Absolutely.
The fresh, the cool, and they're the sort of people you want as your champions. People that get a nice reaction. Like, the New Day's reaction. Like, some of the stuff they do is cool.
And
But-
some of it just seems like it's
It's
So-
just there to, like, stroke Austin Creed's.
ego.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
like,
Nerd side.
he's in a nerd. Like, I understand why he does it, because it's what he likes as well as wrestling.
Yeah, but it is a little bit kind of...
Like, at
Definitely.
times it's over the top.
Over
Like,
the top,
it's
yes, it is.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like before Payback, did we need to see the bygone era? I enjoyed the reference before. 2009 was my best year, leave me here! I enjoyed that.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
It was
but
quick. It was witty. But it didn't look right in the ring. Like you said,
It would have done as better as a backstage segment.
yeah.
Definitely. Is there anything that you would have done better on my side?
Oh, sorry.
No.
I was just going back to what he said about the segment. I just have two words that I still can't quite believe got uttered on WWE television. Derriere squares.
Really?
That was my
Really?
thought. Really?
Well, we've had sucker and succotash, son.
Oh, God. No! Don't, I don't want to hear that again. No! No!
Sibling sucker, sovereign succotash,
You
son.
snivelly little...
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go there. And then that cheesy wink at the camera. Fuck off.
You're not going to go there,
No!
but nonetheless.
No, just... No!
Yeah, okay. Back to what you asked. Sorry about that.
Is there anything that you think I could have done better?
I'd have range when clean.
You would have winning clean. A part of me just felt a dirty one would have been a bit better.
I'm thinking perhaps that gives longer, more fuel to keeping the rivalry going. Yeah, but I don't know. There's arguments for both sides.
There's trust me. There's a reason why.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There's a reason why.
Right, so we'll end that there. We'll pick up our next one, our next fancy booking, which will be in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks? You want to call it for 2 weeks?
Yeah,
2 weeks.
Okay.
because it gives us time to plan. There's a nice little gap in between. We'll cover some other things next week. I might super kick Matt Burns out of the chair.
Please.
I'll make sure I'm standing by with my phone so I can film it. Put it on the
Never
internet.
going to happen. And if somebody wants to start taking pictures, I'll tell you what. I'll pass you the camera, Nathan, while I hit a certain move on Mr. JB, a certain classic one that JBL would appreciate.
Lariata!
Oh no!
A clothesline, and we're not talking about from Stockport, although it's next
No,
door.
no, definitely not.
Yeah, so
The question is, how many spins?
Place
your bets.
we'll leave that there. Put yourself over, Jeremy Borash.
Oh, me? Me,
Yes,
me, the
yes,
humble
yes,
little
you.
me that doesn't have anything to do.
Yes, you. Not the inner voice in your head.
Oh, well,
Go on, Thunder Bastard.
thank you very much. Man, the myth, the legend. Don't mind if I do. You can, as always, find me every Monday night and every Wednesday night. Monday between 11pm, 1am for Esoteric, which is a new music-based show, and Wednesday between 9 and 11, Britpop Anthems, the show that
Recommended.
does exactly what it says on the tin.
Talking about DJ, I actually did my. I actually tried my first set yesterday.
Ah, cool.
Where,
Well, are we
it's-
talking the other kind of DJing, as in a club playing records?
I was in Crompos and I did a set from 9 o'clock until 10:30.
Nice.
The question is did the record survive?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I actually enjoyed it. Yeah, I was
That's
I was
awesome.
tossing up some 90s classics. It's the first time in about 10 years I've heard Rhythm is a Dancer come out.
Well, there you go. Score high in the room here.
Rhythm is a Dancer.
But you, Matt Burns. Actually, no, you are as well. I'll be fair.
The man busts a good move.
He certainly does. I can't fault him there. But anyway, yes, as I said, you can listen
Punk is definitely on a roll when Matt Burns comes out.
Bunkers on a roll.
It's just a shame someone has to warn his mum.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
boy, it's
Look
going to
at
get
her
funky
face as
up
a
in here.
picture.
And then at the end of it, he just looks at and he goes, "How you doing?"
How you doing? At which point, enter stage left Ron Simmons for his one-word appraisal of the whole thing.
Damn!
But anyway, where was I?
You meant to be doing, the one.
And then after JR comes in and goes, "As God is my witness, she is broken in half."
By God!
She has a family, damn it!
And now what? Etc. Yes. You can find me at those times, Monday 11 PM to 1 AM, Wednesday 9 till 11 PM on Six Towns Radio, which you can find via a smartphone app, on TuneIn Radio, or via sixtowns.co.uk. You can also find me pretty much attached to my Xbox most days, playing any games that involve driving cars quickly.
Which we've noticed this.
Yeah.
We've noticed this. Quite one dimension, but if you like it, you like it.
Exactly. And you can also get in touch with me on Twitter at Johnny_Blaze_08.
That you do.
That pretty much fills all my details in.
Did you mention about and look at that?
I don't believe I did, no.
I'm quite surprised.
Motorsport
And look at that, he forgot about it.
And look at that. I also
look at that.
forgot that this pair aren't the only ones that do a podcast, although they do it a mite more regularly than me. Motorsport-based podcast that we only do once a month at the minute because it's fitting it in around our schedules. I'm not busy. Henry, the guy that I do it with, is. There you go. It's called And Look at That. It's available on, I believe, YouTube and Mixcloud. Episodes 1, 2 and 3 available now. Episode 4 coming soon, featuring none other than
Me.
That would be the man, the myth, the legend.
himself.
Nathan Goff.
Yes. Which is a perfect segue to the man himself.
Yeah, you can find me practicing in all pool halls. I've just signed up for another tournament on the 16th of July, which is a Saturday. I am going to be competing my first competition outside of Stoke. I am going to be at the District Open, which is in Crewe. Entries are still available. It's £15 for the day. I think it's entry to the main competition, and then there's a free plate for the first and second round losers.
The question is, I need to ask right now is, will the Nathites be there?
There's me and one of my mates going from the Plaza. We're going up together. He's probably going to do better than I am. I've only just started playing tournaments this year. Some great people. The last one I played in, I played Liam White, which is probably one of Stoke's best non-professional players at the moment. He is brilliant. So hopefully I can draw someone, have a good match. It'll be nice. It's going to be a busy couple of months.
All fun round.
Yeah.
All fun.
I think I've got an 8 o'clock train that day, so if somewhere sells Stella that I can pick up at 7 o'clock in the morning, it could be a good day.
Gallopy.
Pile of beer.
I can recommend picking it up the night before.
I'm pretty much losing an arm and leg.
But no, so that's that. You can find me here. Find me on Xbox at Alexander Owens.
And if I'm not mistaken, as you mentioned pool, we are the proud sponsor of the Plaza Double Leagues.
Yes, we are. The season's nearly come towards an end, which means Matt Burns is going to have to dig out a tux.
Ooh. End of season gala dinner, much?
End of season awards.
Hey.
Are you up for any?
I am hopefully
Hey.
touching wood.
Hey, if not, if I can't find a plus one to take to the event, I may have to kidnap a certain other person and see if he can make a tux to tag along.
I'm sure that the cleaner / soundboy will be pleased that you're going to take him with you.
No.
I think he was looking at you as his plus one.
As a possibility.
I was deflecting from the fact that I'd worked that out. Believe it or not.
There's a bar.
I'm in.
See? You
I'm
don't know how
being
to
fair.
sell these events right.
No. I actually do know how to sell it right because I knew if I plugged it, he'd be in 2 missions, and then I know you'd plug the beer.
It's two things that sell events quicker than anything else that no one plugs. Beer and boobs.
Listen, guys.
The two absolute A-grade things that are guaranteed to sell your event.
There's B&Bs available.
Yep. Please tell me the boobs don't just belong to Matt Burns.
You never specified if you wanted man boobs or non-man boobs.
Well, I know his will be there, but tell me his aren't the only set. That's all I'm saying.
But no,
You have to
find
turn
us
up to
there.
find out.
Exactly.
And then you can find us on Wrestling's 4 on Twitter and The Burning Truth on Facebook and theburningtruthoutlook.com if you want to email us.
That you can.
Indeed you can. Which only leaves...
To the person that some say he sells his merch on the corner of Cobridge. Others say
Stop picking Cobridge.
that Big Bird is now an extinct creature that can only be found in one of Matt Burns'
recent bowel movements.
feather boas. All we know is
No.
it's not Matt Burns, but it is Sonia's long lost cousin.
Get out of town.
And apparently, according to me off the top of my head at the start of the show, Parts Unknown's Village Idiot.
Coming from the Thunder Bastard.
You expected me to never get my own back? Now's the time. Enjoy.
Oh. You want do shots fired at me right now?
No, I want you to
You
plug
want to do
yourself.
shots fired?
No, I want you to plug everything that you are involved in, like we just have, so that we can end the show.
No. I'm going to prolong this because I know you're in a hurry.
I'm not.
Then why the hell are you
I'm
standing
standing-
right next to the door?
I'm standing up because I've been sat on that very uncomfortable chair long enough that I've lost all feeling in my ass. But apart from that...
We could put that down to something else, but we'll leave that to the viewer's
Because
discretion.
all the viewers know that would just be you trying to score cheap points, and it's
That
not
wasn't
true.
cheap points.
So
That wasn't cheap
just
points.
plug.
You had one job.
Plug.
Anyway, sit down. There we go. Anyway, as my colleagues have mentioned, I am Matt Burns. You can literally catch me on Facebook, which is Matt Burns UK, or you can find me on Twitter at Matt
The Bad Boy!
Burns. You can also find me on my website, which is www.
I have a problem.
No. Get www.matt-burns.co.uk. That's it. No forward slash.
Forward slash
Forward
Parts
slash
Unknown
where you can
Village
find.
Idiot.
Hopefully, there's going to be some updates on there. Some new updates coming soon, where you can literally have all the updates with news, possibly some more videos,
If, like Nathan,
merchandise,
you like a
and
bet,
possibly
don't
an
doubt it.
extra page. That's going to be more of a mystery for later on. An extra page is going to be added on there soon, which is going to be more of a mystery. But
Don't forget,
That will
by
get
the
me-
way, in about 6 months' time, email in and ask what happened to the extra page he was going to add when he hasn't done it. Because
no,
that's possibly going to happen that he'll
no,
forget.
that page has actually already been discussed and already been planned. It's already been
Alright.
planned. So that's already been set in motion. So you can, if anybody wants to ask me in 6 months' time where the page is, I'll politely show them where it is.
That's good. That'll get more traffic for your website.
That it
Everybody
will.
wins.
That it will.
Also, you play Xbox as well?
I do. I actually do.
It's never off the fucking
I'm-
thing.
Well, neither. I'm never off mine either, to
What?
be fair. But
Well,
You should be in the gym pumping iron.
I do go in the gym. Got my own little mini gym.
If the gym involves doner meat and chicken,
It
then
doesn't.
yes.
It doesn't.
Matt Burns' idea of
I have got a
balanced
train.
diet
I
is
have
to
got a
have an
training
eat
exercise. I have got a training regime, and it doesn't involve chicken or kebab, or any fatty foods, or cans, or
a
drinking.
can in each hand.
Right. Moving on.
I have a training regime. Catch the chicken, kid. I'm going to teach you how to eat lining and crap thunder.
How you doing?
Next week, there's probably just going to be me and Ned because somebody may vastly become extinct.
He said that. What did I do?
You laughed with him.
Oh, bite me.
Look again, he's already making offers. I don't float that way. And on that bombshell,
there's one last thing I'd like to do, and we'll end this the right way. Our condolences go out to the family of Cassius Clay.
that they do.
Possibly the greatest boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family of Muhammad Ali. There will never be another fighter truly as graced with balance, speed, and the ability to draw a crowd. He was the Dusty Rhodes of boxing.
And if
up there, I hope they're trading war stories.
oh, definitely, they will be.
I absolutely hope they are. I can't
They
agree
definitely
more.
will be. And the funny thing about it is with him, he was that great. He may not even known it himself. He was joking about it, saying, "I'm the greatest of all time."
He
And
genuinely was.
He didn't even know it was. He really was.
On
for
that
the
somber
time.
bombshell.
Hopefully he's up there teaching everyone how to float like a butterfly and sting
Sting
like
like a bee.
And on that note, folks,
On that somber bombshell, it's time to end the show.
see you next week.
See you next week.